Hey Gh0stSpoon or Gh0stBubba as your name now is. Thanks for sending some more replays to me. Last time I did one of these for you, you were Diamond 3. I think I focused a lot on positioning last time. I said your positioning needed a lot of work. I said your sense rotation was generally okay, but a bit inconsistent. And I know I sent you the cheat sheet for 2v2s, so this time you haven't really said a lot more other than that you just wanted a little bit more advice. You sent me a message saying you got C3, which is awesome, so definite improvement over the last few weeks. When did I send you? So it's only been just under a month, so that's actually really good. So that's cool. I haven't actually looked to see what you sent me this time, so let's have a quick look and see what you've sent me. So you've sent me, again, just 2v2 replays. You sent me a couple and then you sent me some more. I only do up to 5 at a time, so I'm just going to take the last 4 and we'll go from there. But let's have a look, let's jump in, let's see what we can do to help. So I did rotate away. I preferred you to have rotated the opposite way, but that was fine. I feel like your teammate had it. Yeah. Here, if I'm being nitpicky, so we should have just... This is no longer your ball. You've got no boost. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. I know you can't see your teammate at this point, but I don't really care. Just back away. It's not your ball. Just concentrate on getting boost of some kind. I think you were going for that corner boost, and that's fine. But for me, I would be conscious of the fact that my teammate is likely to be coming in ready to help, so I'd be going for mid boost instead here, just backing off and letting him go for that one. You do go for mid boost eventually. My point being that you should probably just beeline for that one straight away. It's not going in, so I don't know why we're going up for that. Just have a bit more awareness here, because this is never going in. We don't need to be going up for this. There's not a challenge to the ball. Everyone else is in the other half. We can take our time on this, relax. Teammates with them, so just relax. Let the ball come, let it bounce, let it drop, let it do its thing. Don't need to be wasting all your boost going up for this. In the end, taking yourself out of the playing team has to make up for it. And again, here, don't really know why we're going up for this. The ball's been hit too hard for us to get a shot on it. Both of the orange players have taken themselves out of the play. If we just wait for this to drop, it's an easy open net. Instead, we decide to go up for it really early. No real point. Should have just let it drop. Teammate's fault, not yours. Very close to getting your teammates way here. Stop following the ball quite so much. So here you do the right thing by putting it center, then just follow through the center. You can try and get a demo on the goalkeeper, you can try and bump him out of the way, you can do whatever, but as soon as this ball's being played center, it's your teammate's ball. So just follow the rotation through, try and get a bump, try and get a demo play, rotate out to the opposite side, try and grab still their corner boost and boost starve them, and then just continue rotation around here. We're just rotating, following the ball, always following the ball. Just not ideal because we almost get our teammates way here. If we'd have rotated around to the far corner, we could have stolen their boost and we could still be back in this position by the time the ball's landed. Should have scored that, but I'm not going to nitpick it. Good bumping. Pick up some pads. We're on 0 boost and we're just driving aimlessly. Pick up some pads. There's a few in view right now. Just beeline for them. And still, we're turning for the ball on 0 boost. If this ball gets boomed downfield, we're in trouble at this point. We should be picking up boost. We've got 0. We're not going to be able to score from this position. Stop following the ball. Just grab boost. Again, rotating very close and almost getting into our teammate's way. As soon as that ball goes in that direction, again, rotate opposite side, try and get a bump play. You can't, you've decided that you're not going to go for the ball, which is fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're leaving it free for them to clear, whereas we could be turning to the right and trying to bump the demand guy out of the way. I don't know where the other orange guy is, but if we bump him out of the way or get a demo on him, then it leaves it open for our teammate to potentially score. So rotate that way, and then if we do that as well, we're not then nearly getting in our teammate's way, because as we can see, we very nearly bump him out of the way here. Impatient. Let it go, just getting that. Good. Good. Really good, like it. Really, really good. That's one of the things that I'd have focused on in the last video. I'm glad to see you took that on board. Don't know why you're going for that. Absolutely no need. Ball's not a threat, it's on your backboard. They're not going to score from that position, and your teammate's right there. Right there. Just get off the wall, rotate back into net. Teammate's established himself. If I'm being honest, it was neither of your balls in the first place because it went past both of you. So whichever arrives first, it's then their ball. He's arrived first, it's his ball. Let him do his thing. Instead, this is just, don't know why we're doing this. There's no trust in your teammate. If we get a poor touch here, it's leaving an open net because our teammate's blindsided and there's no one in net. Best option here, just get in net. We see our teammate next to the ball. He's clearly got it under control. Even if he doesn't have it fully under control, he's established himself as the person on the ball. So we just need to respect that and get in net. Touch was a poor touch. If they'd have been a bit more alert to this, this would be a goal. I like the way you beeline back for net there. Touch. Teammate's ball, he's in front of you. Should have been the teammate's ball again, it was just a bit slow from him. It's a shame you couldn't collect the boost. Yeah, and here, don't need to be doing this. So, teammate's got control of the ball. Ball, come on. Here, going for this corner boost is fine because we're not entirely sure if he's still got the ball. But as soon as he plays it over this second guy, forget about trying to get a big boost. There's so many pads available here. So I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly even 6 available for us to grab on the way. That gives us 72 boost. So we don't need to be going for a big boost. Just get in support of your teammate, get up the field nice and quickly, grab the boost pads that are available. Then if the ball comes back towards you, you can see the both of the big boosts on mid are there. You can easily grab those, or if the ball does come back towards you, by the time you get back, those big boosts in your corners will have spawned as well. So just at this point, beeline forward, grab the pads on the floor rather than aiming for a big boost, and just get in support of your teammate. Good positioning. You started to creep ever so slightly too far forward, but you realised it and you checked back and you slammed on the brakes. Really good. Like it. Positioning definitely seems to have improved. I can't remember what it was like from the last video, but I watched like the end of the video so I could see the summary, and I know that I really focused a lot on positioning. And so far in this game, it's been really good. So much better. Shot. I played. Good decision. Yeah, I don't like this. So I'd rather than you go up the backboard. Going up the backboard is not a huge problem. I'd rather have seen you. I'd like to have seen you flick the cam just to check your teammate's position. If your teammate is in net, then fine, stay on the backboard and try and challenge it. But if he's in net, if he's not in net, if he's still in that corner area, just rotate back into net, maybe even behind him if you need to. But establish yourself as first man or second man, doesn't really matter which, just in net at this point, unless your teammate's already there, in which case you probably just confuse him, so this would be the right option. But once you do decide to go up the wall, turn towards the ball. Instead of turning away like this, you're just making it really awkward for yourself by turning away, whereas if you turn towards the ball, doesn't matter if the ball goes past you, that's what your teammate's for. He's back somewhere, he's either going to be in corner or in net, so he's got your back. So you can turn onto the ball. If you miss the ball, absolutely fine, but turn towards it, it just makes it a lot easier for you. In the end, your teammate does come out for it because he thinks it's going past you. You take a touch, again putting it into danger. The teammate probably shouldn't have come out for it, so that's on him. But this touch was really unnecessary. It just drops it into danger, and we don't know what our teammate's doing. Whereas if we'd have turned towards the ball in the first instance, we could have boomed it back down the side. We never really want to drop it in front of our net like this because we can't, especially at this kind of rank, we can't guarantee what our teammate's thinking or what he's going to do. You see, you're partied up. Okay. So you're partied up. So maybe there was a lack of communication here, or maybe there should have been better communication. But either way, never try and drop the ball in front of your net like this. It just creates danger. And as you see, teammate goes up for it. You've just played the ball into danger and essentially given them an open net. They're not going to score it, I don't think, but could have scored it. Let's just be careful of that. Again, here, I don't know why we're following out with this. Teammate's going for it. We can see him going for it. Clearly see him going for it. So we go back to it. So here, he's turned for it. He's going towards it. Let him do it. We can see he's going for it. We don't want two players in the same corner, because if we've got two players in the same defensive corner, if he misses it, you miss it, or you both get challenged, you've just got an empty net behind you and a potential open net that you're leaving again. Yeah, that, I hate to say it, but that probably wouldn't have happened if you hadn't joined him in the corner. So if we'd have just stayed in net and just waited, stay in net, leave your teammate to deal with this, and don't come out of net, don't push up until he's definitely got it going forward. So once this guy challenges, if we're still in net here, we're staying in net. Once he gets it past this guy, then we can push out because we know that he's taking the ball forward. If we'd have stayed in net, we'd have understood that he's been challenged. We'd know the ball's coming back to us. We'd be set in a really good position to just defend this and take it away, rather than having to come back, turn awkwardly. We go for the challenge and he beats us. That's fair enough. Don't mind that, but it might have just been easier for us had we stayed in net and not crowded that corner up. Positioning again. Patience. Good. A few teammates there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, that's a shame. Teammate probably should have done a little bit better there. Bit of a waste. Once you're starting to get to this kind of rank, or even maybe GC, this is a bit wasteful. I understand that you're trying to keep the ball under control and you're trying to create something with it, but it's just a bit of a heavy touch, which isn't a problem. The idea was fine. Could probably, I've noticed that a lot of your touches though tend to try and take the ball towards net, whereas in this instance it might have been better to have either played a pass to your teammate to the right, so you can see him over there waiting for it. You could have just pinged the ball out there. To just switch the play, or take it down the line and get ready to try and centre it for your teammate afterwards. Not really a great deal of value trying to take it towards net there. Teammate's cut in front of you, not your problem, not your fault. He should have just been patient waiting behind you. Good positioning again. Don't really know why we went for boost there. I don't think we really needed to, but that's fine. Cut your teammate off a little bit there, but that's fine. I don't think, obviously you couldn't see him. Okay, so first game down. Yeah, positioning, like I said, I can't remember the first replay particularly, but I know that I spoke a lot about positioning. Attacking positioning, really good. A few little bits that I tweak, but for the most part, really good. Rotations seem pretty okay. Mechanically seems fine. Just occasionally defensive positioning and decision making seems a little bit iffy, but we'll see if that's a constant theme, and we'll kind of just pick up on it more as we go through the next few replays. A little bit too too rushed there. We didn't need to go up for that that quickly. A lot of boost used there as well. Didn't really need to use that much boost either. Positioning here is fine, but you could be looking for pads whilst we're waiting for this to come down. We can see our teammate going for a 50. They're unlikely to be able to shoot on that from here. So just concentrate on picking up pads whilst that ball's not being a threat. There's plenty available around your net. Chance to get at least 40, 50. So just look for pads here quickly and then get yourself into position. Also, don't like the fact that the rear of your car is facing the ball here. We had a similar thing in that first game where the ball was on the backboard. It's just making things a little bit awkward for you. So always make sure that the front of your car is facing the ball if you've got the time to do so. Here, you definitely did. Understand why you boomed that away because you didn't have any boosts. I'm not too bothered about that. Definitely unlucky. Yeah, and then well played just staying out of the way. I'm assuming you got a call where that was his ball. For me, that should have been your ball, but good speed. Okay. I want to stop it here before we see what's going to happen. So what I'd like to see here is for you to take a route towards the far post. So as in the one on the right hand side here. I'll pop a circle where exactly I mean. Beeline it for that kind of area. Grab some boost pads while you're on the way because you've only got 28. You could do a little bit more. And just assess the danger. What I don't want to see is you going straight into that corner and trying to go for the ball because you can't see anything that's going on here. You can't see how you're being challenged. You can't see what danger's unfolding. You can't see what your teammate's doing. But what you can do is just leave the ball because it's not a threat in the corner. Just head for the back post and assess the situation from there. Gives you a really good idea of what's going on over the whole field and allows you to react to the danger however it may be coming. So once you get into that far post position and you can see the field, you can then make a decision as to whether you've got time enough to control the ball. You can make a decision as to whether you need to stall it because your teammates, sorry, excuse me, I've got a really bad cough. You can make a decision to stall the ball if your teammate's being really slow on rotation. Or you can decide to go out and challenge it if you really need to. I'd rather you didn't do that in the corner, but sometimes needs must. But that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see you heading for the far post, not rushing straight in for the ball. The danger you've got with rushing straight in for the ball is that you don't know exactly what's happening around the field. So you don't know if someone's coming for a demo on you, that kind of thing. You don't know how well your teammate's rotating, although obviously you are in comms, so maybe he's telling you. I don't know if you are in comms, sorry, but you are partied, so maybe you are in comms, or maybe he's telling you. And the other danger is that, of course, we're rushing in so quickly on the ball that potentially we miss the ball and just leave an open net. Whereas if we go onto the far post, we're there ready to cover a shot if it comes, and we're then ready to assess the danger. So that's what I'd like to see. We'll see what happens. Okay, close enough. It wasn't to the far post, but it was into net, and then you turned around so you could see the field. Happy with that. It's not ideal. It could be slightly tweaked for a little bit better, but pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. Well played. Again, here. So we decided to leave the ball in the corner. That's fine. As we've said from previous videos, if it's in the corner, preferably leave it. Once you've played the touch into the corner, though, it's probably best to follow it up. But the bounce it gets off the wall makes it awkward. I understand that. You could have followed it up just to make sure that you get there for the challenge, because you can hear the other guy behind you. But backing off into net is okay. But just make sure that once you have backed off in net, try and handbrake turn really quickly. I've seen you do it in net a few times. You could probably have done it here. Just that your car is facing the ball as opposed to being backwards to it again. Because as I said, we've mentioned it a few times, game 1 and game 2 so far, where we're not facing the ball. And it's just made it really awkward here, where we can't really see what's going on. And it's making it awkward for us to try and get back and challenge and get this score past us. So just be careful of that. Again, ball wasn't going in, didn't really need to take a touch. So, yeah, you just popped it, it's definitely not going in. Could have just waited for it to drop down, caught it, done something with it. Instead, we're wasting loads of boost. If we do get a touch here, what we risk happening, because we're turning on the ball as well. So, if we get a touch here, we're going to kill the ball, and it's going to drop pretty much where you touch it. But your momentum is still carrying you backwards. So, it's going to drop, and you're not even going to be particularly close to it. You're going to be close-ish, but you're not going to be as close to it as you could be. The danger you've got here is that with the orange guy here, so I'm going to come back to it again. So if we do touch it here, that Novax guy is potentially going to drop straight down for him to take a shot on your net, potentially scoring opportunity for them. So just be a little bit smarter with that. You didn't need to go for it. You could have just let it go. In the end, it does go because we missed the ball anyway, which is fine because that's what we wanted to happen in the first place. But just be a little bit more, just think about things a little bit more. There's no need to try and touch that. Certainly, we didn't have to waste the boost doing so. And then again, there, I don't know why we've gone for that. So once we do see the ball go past us, teammates right next to it. Teammates facing forward here towards the opposition's half. So teammates got good momentum to get this ball clear. We're facing backwards. So who's got the better opportunity of getting the ball clear? Teammate all the way. So leave him the ball. Just do your job as second man. Let him clear it, and then continue to play from there. As it is, it's an interesting kind of redirect / half pinch, and it gets the job done. So no harm done. Yeah, good. That one you did need to challenge, obviously, because there was a threat to you that time. And well left for your teammate. That was probably your ball, but teammate wanted it, and that's fine. That's a good shot, I think. If you are in comms with your teammate here, just make sure that when you're deciding to go up for this, you're shouting it, because it looks like he doesn't know that you're going up for it, and it looks like it's just a slight double commit. So just make sure you're shouting it, and then he can make the decision not to go for it. Here, just poor decision making really. So we start off really quite far away from the play. Works in our advantage in the end because the ball comes in our kind of direction. But just be mindful here. So we've got orange player, Malanesque, on the right-hand side, on mid, going for that boost. We've got Novak's about to go for the ball. He's already taken off. He's kind of not in net. He's out towards the play. We've got teammate on the wall behind at least one of them, probably behind both of them, if we're being honest. So here, if they get this ball past you, teammate's going to be slower to get forward than they are because they're in front of him. You're certainly not going to be able to get back because you're committing to the ball. So there's far more risk involved here than there is reward. So be really careful about going for this. My decision instantly would be not to go for this. Reason being, I can see teammate behind one, possibly even two of them. That's a definite no-no for me because I know that if I lose this challenge, then there's potential for the opposition to score a goal. So definitely would never be going for this. That's what I'd like to see you think about in these situations. So take a quick look at your teammate, assess where he is in relation to the two opposition players, make a decision based on that. If he's behind them, don't go for the ball. Just rotate back, allow yourself to defend, and allow your teammate to get back in support. Fortunately, they don't score. Nice. It's good positioning in the end. I was a bit confused about what was going on here. So we come back to this here. So same thing as I said earlier. Wait until teammate's definitely getting the ball clear. So wait in net until he's definitely getting the ball clear. At this point, I like the fact you've gone out for boost. That bit's fine. But once you've got it back off and get back into net quickly, wait to see if teammate gets it past this guy. Because here we're pushing out way too far. If this guy does decide to challenge and teammate pinches with him, or the Malanesque guy wins the challenge and this ball pings towards your net, there's nobody in net. It just goes straight in. So be in net, be between the ball and net until we're sure that the ball's being cleared. And then we turn towards it. Not really sure why. I don't know if you were even thinking about going for the ball at this point. It kind of looked like you were, and that really panicked me. I don't know why we'd be doing that. Teammate's clearly in control of it, so just leave him to it. Just get back in net, like I said, and go from there. In the end, you turn back away, and this positioning's good. This is fine. This is really good. And then you move forward. Positioning all the way here is really good. Up until this point, you had enough boost here. I wouldn't be going for mid boost. There's no need. We should just be closing up the play a little bit closer to our teammate. I'm not saying a whole lot closer, maybe a car length or two, but we could be pushing up a lot closer. And in the end, we get to the ball first, so it's fine. If we'd have been a car length or two closer, we'd have just got to that ball even quicker, and there'd have been no chance of a challenge. But otherwise, another good game. I'm assuming that's the end of this one. Yeah. Yeah, attacking positioning seems pretty good. Rotations seem okay. Again, it's just defensive positioning at times and a little bit defensive decision making that needs a little bit of work on. But otherwise, for the most part, pretty good. Okay, let's go back to this whole thing. It's win kickoff, which is fine. Then we push forward for the ball, also fine. Good challenge. And then it seems like we're a little bit slow to turn around. I don't know whether that's because there was a bump that I just didn't notice or whether we landed awkwardly. The only thing I can say is that in that position, I think you were doing it anyway. So apologies if I'm speaking out of turn here. I think you were already trying to turn back and head towards net. The moment you challenged that ball. If you were, great. If not, if there was some hesitation there, in that situation where the ball's gone behind you, always just look to immediately beeline back to your own net for the potential for that kind of thing that just happened to happen. But if you're already doing it, absolutely fine, ignore me. Good positioning. Pushing out too far here. So teammate is going for mid boost. We can see him doing that, so we know he's not going to be back in net for a while. So getting into net here, really good. But once we're in net, just sit in net and wait until we can hear our teammate with us, or until he calls and says that he's back. The ball isn't presenting a danger whilst it's on that wall. It's only a danger when it starts to come towards your net. By pushing out, you're giving yourself less reaction time if the ball then does pop off away from the wall, and you're leaving net unguarded. I know your teammate's on his way back, so I know that he's likely to be there eventually, but still, we don't want to take any chances. So stay in net, wait to see what kind of touch the guy gets, and then make a decision based off of that touch. Wait for him to get the touch, and then push out, instead of just pushing out because he's there. Because like I said, that ball was no threat where it was. As I said, so we have pushed out. He gets a touch that brings it kind of close to your net. Not particularly close, but closer. And then the ball's all of a sudden a little bit too close to us for us to be able to challenge and go for. That's because we've closed down the angle. If we'd have stayed in net, we could have gone up and challenged this. Might not have been the right decision, so we might not have wanted to, but we'd have been in a better position to do it if we'd have just sat in net and waited rather than pushing out. In the end, we have to turn around. Turning around is fine, but here you're just beelining straight back towards your net. My hope would be that your teammate has rotated into net, so because we're beelining for the centre of the net, we're running the risk of bumping our teammate again here and giving them a chance to score a goal. So there we go. We do hit our teammate, kind of. Fortunately, he's fine in the end. But just be careful of that as well. So as soon as you, first of all, don't push out from that until you see what kind of touch they get. And then even then, don't unless it's a real threat or you're sure that you can win the ball. Secondly, when you do decide to rotate back out from that position, always rotate at a wide angle round to the far post, and then you just don't get in your teammate's way and you can make sure that you don't bump your teammate. That was that in the first video I did for you. I know I sent you the 2v2 cheat sheet. That's all explained in there as well. So I'm not going to go over it in free play or anything. Just take another quick look at that sheet and you see exactly what I'm talking about from there. That's just unfortunate. Good attempt to read the ball. Lucky, it was good effort. I don't mind that. Just make sure when you're coming back in situations like that, so where you're pushing backwards, the ball's in front of you and it's travelling towards your net, just make sure that we're only going for a demo and not trying to hit the ball. Because if we're trying to hit the ball, that creates a risk because there's a pinch opportunity, that kind of thing. We're likely to push it closer to our net. Going for the demo there, absolutely fine. Not got a problem with that. It's just unfortunate we didn't get it. And again here, so you've made it really awkward for yourself. I've got it written down, so this is something that's happening consistently, and this is the one thing that you really need to work on. So defensively, needs some work anyway, but this thing in particular, you really need to focus on. So again here, we're not facing the ball. The back of our car is facing the ball. That just makes it super awkward to deal with. If this shot is better, then we don't save it. The shot's poor, so luckily we do save it. Just make sure that as soon as we decide to get in net here, get in net, pick up another pad as well. There's one just to the to your left-hand side or to the right-hand side if we're thinking about it in screen terms. Get back into net, get into the right-hand side of the net somewhere because that's the opposite side to the ball, so it covers the most of the net. But turn around and face the ball, and then you're in a position to be able to make a save wherever the ball comes. Because of where we're positioning here with the rear to the car, as I said, if this is a really good shot, if he pops it into that top left corner, chances are we're not making the save here, especially on 12 boost. So just make sure we're always turning around and trying to face the ball. We had the time to do it now. Oh, wow. A lot of panic going on here. I don't think it's panic in the literal sense, but it looks really panicked. So getting the boost here is fine, and then as soon as we've got the boost, head towards the right hand side to the far post. The ball is there, your teammate's there. Just get in net and defend the one thing that's not being defended at the moment. Get in net, get ready to deal with the ball as it comes down. Because now we're putting ourselves in a position where the net is completely unguarded, teammates on the wall, so he's clearly in control of this situation. Might not be in control of the situation at all, but he's the one who's taking control of the situation. Whether or not it works or not, that's not your problem. He's he's established himself as the one in control of the situation. So you just need to trust him and let him do his thing. In the end, he does get a touch on the ball. That touch that he got was fine. It was keeping it on the wall. That wasn't going to be a danger to your net. You then get a second touch, which pushes it away from the wall, presents a shooting opportunity. It's not the best of shots. But again, here, the ball's not a threat. It's on the wall. It's on your backboard. They can't score from that position. So just get in net. There's no threat to the net as it stands. But if this guy pops it past you both, his teammate could be there ready to score an open net. So just get in net and then deal with it from there. Instead, we take this touch, which isn't the best. It pops it up above your net. We then try and get it clear, which is the right decision here because we forced ourselves to do so. But the touch again, poor, just drops it in front of your net. Fortunately, your teammate's there to deal with it. But again, he gets challenged, so the ball's still in front of your net. You've not given yourselves a chance to clear the ball, or certainly you've not given yourself a chance to clear the ball because you keep going for it when you don't really need to. If we'd have just sat in net, at any one of those times, we could have waited for the ball to come down and then cleared it when the opportunity presents itself. Instead, we've been trying to clear it where there's been no risk, and we've been trying to do so from awkward positions. There's just been no need to. Okay. So here, we're trying to push out with our teammate on 3 boost. Pick up pads. You're missing so many pads. There are so many pads available. It's a constant theme that we're not picking up the pads. There's potential here before we take this flip to grab 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 pads before we join our teammate. That would have given us potentially 50, 60 odd boost. So we could have grabbed pads. Instead, we're still using boost that we don't have to spare for no apparent reason. We don't need to get to the ball that quickly. Pushing out on this is fine because our teammates decided to leave it. Don't know what. I'm assuming you were going for a wave dash here. Don't really know why. Again, we don't need extra speed. It seems a little bit to me as if you're trying to play with sort of 100% speed constantly. Really don't need to. Certainly up to like GC2, GC3, we don't need to be playing at full speed. The game isn't that quick. You can take your time and slow it right down. There's no problem with that. Yeah, and then here, so this touch is poor, but you know that's fine. I'm not bothered about the touch. But then this weird jump here, I don't know what this is for. We're wasting boost for no apparent reason. We had time to wait for the ball to come down. We had time to go back into net. Any number of things would have worked here, but going for an immediate jump again, it's like we're trying to be too quick. We don't need to be. I think you said you're champ 3. That's what I've got written down. So the game isn't going to be that quick. We don't need to be rushing or panicking or going for this straight away. We've got the time to wait and see what happens. Risky. Really, really risky. So it's the same thing that I spoke about earlier. I can't remember whether it was this game or the... In fact, it was this game. It was the start of this game. Teammate has gone past both of the opposition players. He's on the backboard. Fortunately, he lands okay, so he's got a decent recovery. But if this ball gets played past you, you've got an open net right behind you, and you've got 2 orange players looking to counter-attack. Certainly, one of them's already pushing forward, the guy on the ball, so he's going to beat your teammate back. no benefit in challenging here really at all. We're really unlikely to score because there's a guy on his way back to net and the other guy, Zoic, is pretty much on the ball. By challenging, all we're doing is leaving that open net wide behind us. If they get it past you, it's a goal. It was exactly like I spoke about in the first goal that they scored this game, where I said, in fact, I'm not sure it was this game. If it was this game, it was the second goal, not the first goal. Might have been the last game, but have a look, assess the situation, look at your teammate and his relative position to the opposition players and make a decision based on that. For me, because I can see him on the backboard behind at least one of the orange players, potentially both of them, there's no point in going for this ball because all I'm doing is leaving an open net right behind me. So best off, just fake challenging, heading backwards, and then going from there. Just cutting our teammate off, so where are we? We'll come all the way back. So here, touch. I think you were trying to keep it close, which is fine. Probably should have stayed on it, but it's fine. Teammate might have said that he was going for it. And then here, teammate lands, and you can see him turning back towards the ball. So best thing to do here is to just slam on the brakes, wait and see what your teammate does. Instead, what you do is turn in towards the ball. I can hear teammate there, so I know that we're cutting him off, and also I could see him turning in that direction as well, so again, you were cutting him off. Didn't really need to. In the end, you get behind him well, so you make up for it. And it's a good drop down from your teammate at the end of the goal. And that's the end of that one as well. Again here, just take your time. Nobody's going for this ball. You, Sophie's still on the ground. Alex is heading back towards his own net, so if he wants to go for it, I'd let him because he's only going to play it back towards his own net. We don't need to be going up for this early. The ball's not a threat to your net. You don't need to urgently make a challenge. Just take your time. Stay on the ground a second and wait and see what they're going to do with it. If they then go up and you're going to get beat into it, just rotate back into net and wait for the ball to come down. Control it and start a counter attack. You don't need to be going for this early because in the end we do, and it goes flying over us. And then we put our teammate in a 2v1, and teammates boost starved. So we can't go for boost in the end. They should probably have scored that. Should definitely have scored that. Could have played a pass to teammate there. Maybe you were trying to play a pass. Obviously, if you were, it was just a little bit overhit. Nice one there. Wasn't really paying attention for that whole thing. I kind of zoned out. So let's have another look. Okay, it's a good idea to then come back. Teammates in net, so Yeah, not a great deal else you could have done with that. Your positioning was okay on the way back. That was better. That was better. So if we come back to this, so here, what you've been tending to do is just jump for this, go for it straight away. Good. I like the fact you didn't. We could have stayed on it and jumped for it as it was coming over us and just kept it on that kind of mid area, but the fact you decided to go back is okay. I like the fact at least you made your decision and you stuck to it. What I try and avoid is using quite so much boost on the way back. You didn't really need to. This touch obviously could have been a little bit better, but the idea was fine. Trying to get it out into your corner, absolutely spot on. And then again here we turn and we're facing the ball backwards. In this instance, you probably needed to, so I've not got such a big issue with it. Just be mindful of it, obviously. Yeah, here we're just getting all too close. So teammate goes for the ball. Could you see him? No. So I've not really got an issue with you going for it. But as soon as they take this touch here and teammate then turns onto it, teammate's turned onto it, so we just go back. If teammate went for far boost, again I'd go back because he's behind the plate and they're just going to counter attack. The only way that I would be looking to go in for this is if teammate turned back towards you and then flipped towards net or made it clear that he was going towards net. Because he's not, because he's staying with the ball, we don't need to be going for this. We should just be going back, because at this point we're just putting you and your teammate in the same position, leaving that net behind you completely open. I know it's 5-1, I know it's not going to make a huge difference, but still we need to be making sure that we're being consistent all the time. So here, because your teammate's gone for it as well, just go back, because putting yourself in the same position as your teammate and leaving that net clear is just opening yourself to danger. In the end, they do get it past you. Teammate misses the ball and then they take a nice shot. Yeah, they score. Could have been avoided. It's all just very disjointed at this point. This is if you, I think it probably is slightly the case as well, is that you're just playing for fun at this point. It's the way it seems. don't know why we're challenging that one. Here, you're going backwards. They're just going to push it into their corner, which teammate, if it goes into their corner, teammate can then push forward and keep it alive. Whereas what we're doing here is we're risking a pinch that goes over our teammate, which is exactly what happens. Just leave that one because you're going backwards towards your own net. Yeah, I'm going to end it there because it's all going the same way, really. So, definite improvement since last time. Not that, like I said, I can't remember the last video, but I know that last time, at least I've got written down that you were Diamond 3 last time. So, definite improvement in the last month, up to C3. Things I liked, your positioning. I know I mentioned in the last video a lot. Positioning attacking-wise, definitely a whole lot better. Really, really good positioning attacking-wise. Defensively, it's okay. It's getting there. Just needs a little bit more work. Maybe take another look at that cheat sheet that I added in the last video, and just reiterate the defensive positioning. The things that I've got written down that I would really, really focus on. So first one, I mentioned it an awful lot and pretty much in every single game. So really focus on this. When you're defending and looking to defend your net, make sure that if we've got the time to do so, we turn to face the ball. What we've seen a lot is trying to defend net with you being backwards or the back of your car facing the ball. It just makes it far too awkward with you, especially if you're low on boost. So always make sure you're trying to turn to face the ball. I'd like to see some work on that. Boost management needs a little bit of work, and I don't mean the management of the boost itself particularly, but I just mean sometimes we're overlooking for large boost when we could just be collecting pads. So I don't really know the best way to do this because sometimes I go into free play and show it, but I'm not going to do that actually. What I'm going to do, if you've never heard of pathing or boost pathing, what you can do on YouTube is just search Rocket League boost pathing. There'll be some really good videos on there. Just have a look through one or two of those. If you already know about it, then obviously you don't need to watch the videos, but what you do need to do is just work on it because there isn't a lot of it going on. Speed. A lot of these, in all of these games, there's been occasions where we've gone for the ball and we've just tried to do it too quickly and we've ended up going way past the ball or having to bail out. Just slow it down. It's at Champ 3. The game isn't going to be hugely quick. It's not SSL. So we don't need to be full speed all the time. Just slow it down. Take time every once in a while, especially if the ball's not a danger. Just slow it down, wait and see what happens, and then go from there. Speed itself can be a really handy tool. And some of the time you were using it really well, so nothing wrong with that. If you want to speed it up at times, absolutely fine, but it doesn't need to be 100% speed all the time. And you're probably watching this and now thinking, well, it wasn't 100% speed. That's cool. If it wasn't 100% speed, it wasn't 100% speed. I'm over exaggerating, sure, but the point being, it doesn't need to be played really quickly all the time. Sometimes Rocket League can be played really slowly, and that sometimes is the best policy, so just be mindful of that. Otherwise, though, I was actually quite impressed. Much better than last time, from what I can remember. So, yeah, keep up the good work. Thanks for trusting me with the new replays. If you've got any comments, questions, queries, let me know. Anything you didn't like, again, let me know. If you wanted to leave positive rep in RSCD, absolutely fine. Absolutely optional though. Absolutely don't have to. Otherwise though, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.